relay teams to enter poolside now. And there are some very strong teams in this, Paul Noble.
Trying to go here in lane number 1. Again, it is 34-point relay, medley relay. The points for all the team have to add up to no more than 34 points. Spain have a strong team. USA have a very strong team. They will feature in the shake-up for the medals, and so should Great Britain, the world record holders. But what about this strong Australian team? They are going to be excellent, the Aussies. Russia, again, a strong lineup. The Canadians, can they come through for the medals in lane number 7? And the final team is the team from New Zealand. Well, first time we've seen a New Zealand women's team in an international competition here, and they are looking forward to this one immensely. They've got a strong lineup. The medals here, well, they could be anywhere. The Australians have got a strong team. Britain have got a strong team. USA have got a strong team.
Russia
have got a very strong lineup too. It's just about Wu. He's going to get out there and put in the performance for their country.
Take your marks.
Well, it's a good start across the board. Alice Ty from Great Britain in lane number 4 got off very well indeed, as did Ellie Cole of Australia, and near us Oriel Rivard of Canada. Now expect Rivard, Ty and Cole to lead this out. They are burning more points than the other nations. Ellie Cole is a 9, Alice Ty is a 10, and Canada, Oriel Rivard is a 10. They will have to then substitute with lower class swimmers later on to make sure they don't go over their target of 34 points. It's a good first leg though from Alice Ty here, Paul.
That's what the Great Britain team need. Ellie Cole, a very strong swimmer for the Australian team. World record breaker in the S9 100 metres backstroke earlier this week. She is holding pace with Alice Ty. Remember, Alice Ty, an S10, so Britain already have used one more point than the Australian team, and it's pretty level. Canada may be in 3rd position. Spain going well with Nuria Marquez Soto in lane number 2, but it is Great Britain over in first, 0.24 of a second. The advantage for Great Britain. Claire Cashmore going in against Madeline Scott.
Well, there was a great changeover from both Great Britain and Australia. They are now level pegging on points. Claire Cashmore carrying 1 less point than Madeline Scott of Australia. She's going to need to make sure that Scott doesn't move away, so that when they put Tully Kearney in the water, that she does not lose too much ground to the higher point swimmers, particularly going in for Russia. We'll put in Nina Ryabova, and well, we're trying to keep across it. It's about a million things going on at once. But GB looking very good here. Claire Cashmore giving the Australian Madeline Scott a run for her money.
Well, if Claire Cashmore can keep pace with Madeline Scott here, I think Great Britain have got a fantastic chance to take this relay. Claire Cashmore digging in there. The Australian team are not really getting much of an advantage here, but it is Australia just leading Great Britain now in 3rd position. Katarina Roxon has had a good swim for Canada, but it is Great Britain and Australia. Australia will take the lead. Madison Elliott goes in, but Tully Kearney, the champion in the S9 100 metres butterfly, surely will overtake the S8 swimmer Madison Elliott, and it should be very, very tight between these two. In 3rd place, the Spanish going well, it's Hernando Santos, but they have an S5 on their final leg. I think, Giles, it is shaping up very much for a head-to-head here between Great Britain and Australia.
Well, Kearney has got to find some space over Madison Elliott of Australia, because Great Britain are going to put Susie Rogers in the pool next, and she will go up against Lakeisha Patterson of Australia, who carries one more point. And we've seen Lakeisha Patterson on superb form this week, but this is Tully Kearney eking out a lead now over Madison Elliott. They're coming now into the final change of this medley relay. It's going to be absolutely critical that Susie Rogers is away as quickly as possible. Here's the touch. Oh, and it's not a great change from Great Britain. They've cost time there, but Madison Elliott dying all the time. The Aussies are in the water. Lakeisha Patterson is underway.
Well, Lakeisha Patterson underway. Annie Pallian away for the Russians now. I think with the lower class swimmers for Russia and for Spain, it is definitely between Great Britain and Australia. Patterson moving into second place. Rogers has the advantage. Patterson has the class advantage. Closing on Rogers. Oh goodness, it's going to be tight.
Well, Susie Rogers is going to have the fight of her life here. She's got to dig in to stave off that attack from Lakeisha Patterson of Australia, who is eating away at that lead with every single stroke now as we come down the pool into the final 25 metres. It is Susie Rogers, S7 place, Lakeisha Patterson's S8, and this is going to be absolutely to the wire, Paul.
Well, 15 metres to go. Susie Rogers is hanging on. The yellow cap of Patterson is closing. It's not going to be enough, though. It's going to be gold to Great Britain. Susie Rogers has done it for GB. Lakeisha Patterson, the silver, is bronze to Russia, but Susie Rogers had the swim of her life to hold off Lakeisha Patterson from Australia. Great Britain take the gold ahead of Australia, ahead of Russia, and what a way to finish the competition. It's gold for Great Britain, and Susie Rogers was superb.
Well, Susie Rogers left it all in the pool. That was Claire Cashmore congratulating her there. She shakes her head. Well, I tell you what, that jangled her nerves right to the very end. The Australians were brilliant, and the Russians, well, they were absolutely delighted to take the bronze medal by less than a second over the United States, who finished in fourth. Well, here we go. Here's the ropey changeover. Susie Rogers kind of finishing on the half touch. But in the end, it didn't matter. And here comes Susie Rogers, just hanging on over Lakeisha Patterson of Australia. Susie Rogers finishing on a good arm. It's a nice roll that she puts in there at the end, and that's Claire Cashmore congratulating the superb anchor leg from Susie Rogers. And a big hug for Tully Kearney and for Alice Tighe, who led off on the backstroke.
The result of the women's 4x100 m medley relay, 34 points. The bronze goes to the Russian Federation, the silver to Australia, but the gold and the World Championship title to Great Britain.